This is Chris Butler, reporter and bureau chief for Tennessee Watchdog, and this is the Tennessee Watchdog Week in Review. 6 years ago in Northwest Tennessee, local politicians got a hold of $15 million in federal stimulus money and promised they would use that money to build a port along the Mississippi River in Lake County. This port, they said, would create more than 2,000 new jobs and bring relief to a region where the economy has been stagnant for more than 20 years. As of 2016, the port is ready for use and has been for nearly 3 years. The number of jobs the port has created? 0. Lake County Mayor Denny Johnson told Tennessee Watchdog that one company is interested in the port, but even if it comes, it will only bring 60 new jobs. Former Congressman John Tanner, a Democrat who helped get the money, declined comment, but Lake County Vice Mayor Jimmy Yates said the promise of 2,000 new jobs was nothing more than, quote, a best-case scenario, unquote. Further on down in Lewis County, Tennessee Comptroller Justin Wilson called out the employees in that county's solid waste department for taking scrap metal out of county junk piles and selling it for their own personal gain. According to the state auditor, county employees took more than $6,000 worth of scrap for themselves. Scrap metal belongs to the county, and the county makes a profit by selling it to private vendors. According to the audit, the county's solid waste director encouraged his employees to steal and to even split the proceeds with him. Lewis County officials did not return repeated requests for comment. Around the state, Tennessee Watchdog learned that certain public school districts are using taxpayer money to hire lobbyists to further their own political agendas, particularly to fight charter schools and school vouchers. According to the Tennessee Ethics Commission's website, these school districts belong to the Tennessee School Boards Association, the Tennessee School System for Equity, the Coalition of Large Area School Systems, and the Tennessee Organization for School Superintendents. Elsewhere around the state, if you want to shampoo hair in Tennessee, Tennessee requires that you take hundreds of hours of coursework, costing thousands of dollars. Last month, the Nashville-based Beacon Center of Tennessee announced it was suing the state to do away with those regulations. In the state's response, the Tennessee Attorney General's office said, and I quote, "Much of what states do is to favor certain groups over others on economic grounds. We call this politics," unquote. The Attorney General's response also said states can, and I quote again, engage in economic preference, unquote. Beacon Center President Justin Owen said he was appalled by the state's response, saying the office argues it's the proper role of government to favor certain groups over others on economic grounds. Meanwhile, at a recent legislative hearing in Nashville, private internet service providers said they cannot often afford to branch out into rural, underserved areas because of government red tape. Andy Mackey, Comcast Vice President of Government and Community Affairs, said his company pays 35% more in pole attachment fees in Tennessee than it did 5 years ago, adding it's a major barrier to deployment. As Tennessee Watchdog has reported before, municipal broadband providers like EPB out of Chattanooga already compete for business against private providers like AT&T and Comcast. But now EPB wants to expand its service outside Chattanooga and the surrounding rural areas. EPB officials have called out AT&T and Comcast for not providing service to those areas. Finally, Nashville, the television series, is making the leap from ABC to CMT, but not without some controversy. CMT has far fewer viewers than ABC, and that's raising questions about whether taxpayers should continue giving money to the show. Tennessee taxpayers gave Nashville, the television series, $45 million during its 4-year run on ABC. For the CMT version, for the 5th season at least, Tennessee taxpayers will pay $11 million. State officials defend giving taxpayer money to the show on the grounds that it will also be streamed on Hulu, and they also say the show is great for marketing the city. For regular updates on social media, find Tennessee Watchdog on Twitter or like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TennesseeWatchdog. Tennessee Watchdog's web address is TennesseeWatchdog.org.